Hey, Joyful Journeyer, welcome back. I'm Anita Adams. Something happened to me this morning, and whether it was a coincidence or something more, it left me reflecting on a question I think many of us wrestle with. So I had two unexpected encounters with a hummingbird. Now, hummingbirds have always held a special place in my heart, not because I believe they symbolize one specific thing, although many traditions do attach spiritual meaning to them. For me, whenever a hummingbird unexpectedly appears, I take it as an invitation to pause and ask myself, what am I being invited to notice? Today, the timing of those encounters caught my attention. This morning, I was sitting outside with my journal, writing about how tired I am of pushing to make things happen, pushing to build my business, pushing to promote my retreats, my coaching, my podcast, my writing. I know people need to know what I offer, but I don't want to live in a constant state of striving. I don't want to hustle the way I once did. I want to create meaningful work and trust that the people who need it will find me. And I suspect every creative entrepreneur under the sun understands this tension. As I was writing these thoughts, I heard the unmistakable sound of a hummingbird. I looked up. There he was, flying across the garden straight toward me. At the last moment, he veered to my left and hovered at eye level, only a few feet away. We shared a brief moment before he disappeared. That made me smile. And what interesting timing. Why would this tiny creature appear just as I was reflecting on letting go of striving and leaning more deeply into trust? After all, isn't that what I encourage others to do? About 20 minutes later, I was preparing for an interview with an author for this podcast. I was reading my question aloud when I came to this one. Why do you think there is such a gap between what we believe and what we actually trust in difficult moments? The instant I finished reading that question, the hummingbird returned, again hovering beside me, looking at me. This time I didn't simply notice the hummingbird, I noticed the question. Just moments earlier, I had written that I wanted to trust that the right people would find me instead of feeling like I had to force everything to happen. There it was, the gap. I say I believe life can unfold with grace. But when things don't move as quickly as I'd like, what do I actually trust? Do I trust enough to keep showing up without drifting so tightly to the outcome? Or does my anxiety quietly convince me that everything depends on how hard I push? Today's reflection reminded me that trust isn't passive. It doesn't mean I stop writing, stop creating, or stop inviting people into my work. It simply means I release the illusion that I can control the outcome. My role is to keep creating with honesty and love. The rest is not mine to hold. As I wrote in Whispers of the Soul, awareness is the first step toward change. The hummingbird may have been nothing more than a hummingbird, or perhaps it was simply a timely interruption. Either way, it asked me a question I couldn't ignore. Where is the gap between what I say I believe and what I actually trust when life feels uncertain? Today, I realize that gap is a little wider than I'd like to admit. And maybe that's enough, because awareness is always the first step. So today, I'll keep doing my work. I'll keep writing. I'll keep creating. I'll keep inviting people into the journey. And I'll try to do it with open hands instead of clenched fists. If this story found you at the right moment, perhaps it is your hummingbird, a small reminder to soften your grip and trust the unfolding. That's all I have for you today. Thanks for being on this journey with me, Joyful Journeyer. Until next time, bye for now.